Coming at you live with a new haircut. Hello! Welcome to Enchanted Art by Emily. I'm Emily, and I'm here to bring you Sketchbook 7 Tour. Okay, yeah, so we're here for Sketchbook 7 Tour. I do want to do another disclaimer. If you haven't seen my other sketchbooks, it's been a while. I want to remind people that my sketchbooks are, in fact, some are preparatory sketches, some are more like study sketches, some are complete pieces of art, so it could be also considered like an art book. These are places that I can just kind of do a little bit of everything in. So I call them sketchbooks because I mainly do just drawing and sketching practice in here, but there's some occasional fun things here and there. But yeah, so we're gonna hop right into it. Yeah. Okay. Sketchbook 7. So I think I loved this idea of having it framed. And I was heavily inspired by a painting I saw and a commission that I do later on. You'll see the sketches for in this sketchbook. And I really liked it, and I wanted to go very art nouveau stained glass vibes for the framing. And I realized, because I think I gessoed the whole front cover, and now I wish that I kind of left this magenta color that I painted over it, actually the black. I think would just made all of this pop more, but it's still fun. It's still really fun and cute and very magical. I love it. I just love this swamp moon vibe. But yeah, here's sketchbook 7. First thing I did when I first opened this, oh my gosh, I'm way off. I'm so sorry. There we go. Better. For some reason, I didn't know what to draw, so I just started drawing really cheesy things. That was the first thing I like. Look, I'm fond of you. Like, what? Because I think it was like, I'm gonna go real cheesy. I don't know. I was in a mood apparently, and I just wanted to get something in my sketchbook. Then this was me planning for what. I think it's been the inspiration for this page and the last page. But I think at the time I was just like wanting to draw like a cute little comic of like getting like very much like Clifford, right? Where you get the small little dog and then he turns to be really big. I thought it'd be kind of funny if it was, oh, I thought it was a lizard and it turns out to be a dragon. So yeah. Then it was just drawing some kitties. Because I don't know, when I don't know what to draw, I draw kitties. This was me then going, I think coming up with different ideas, because I started to feel the need to explore some deeper feelings that I have inside my body. And so I kind of got some of those ideas out. Just wanted to play around with different. I think this was, again, scrolling on Pinterest, saw this cute little duck thing, wanted to draw it. Wanted to draw the different times of day in bottles as magical bottles. I had to draw a thermit. I think just because I saw this picture, I just was rewatching some of Jenna's Marbles old videos, and I had to draw a thermit because I just love them so much. So I ended up doing that. This was just some random miscellaneous sketching for a fun evening. Ended up doing these cute little like magical swamp trash raccoon vibing, and then I don't know if I had just watched the Barbie movie when this, but I had to draw Ken. I had to. I needed to fill this page, so I wanted to draw Ken. I wanted to explore more of that little raccoon feller and what kind of magic they would make, but like I had like they'd have mud and pond water and they'd collect trash to make cute little things. And I think I ended up illustrating them a little bit in gouache and I ended up not really liking it, but I still made them and they're really cute. Practicing, this was me exploring and wanting to I have a lot of houses that I would say are like my quote unquote childhood homes, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to do this whole um body of work, that's the word I'm looking for, body of work about the houses I grew up in and some of the memories I had there, while then also building them in Sims. And I did build the first house in Sims. I did not put the furniture in, and I have not actually done the painting part, but it was an idea. And so, yeah, there's that. This was, I think I was feeling a little lost, so I started to reassess and think about kind of what I wanted to do for art for myself. This is where I got commissioned for I think still to this day, one of my favorite paintings I have painted. It was one of my friends really liked my funeral pyre fire dancing girly, but she wanted it to be water instead. And I said, oh my gosh, absolutely. So I was looking at different types of like more flowy kind of dancing. And then I also looked to some very traditional Hawaiian hula poses because I felt like I wanted to connect to a dance and culture that really connect with nature in a way that I thought would be really beautiful. And so we kind of played around with the different poses and I ended up loving these two. And we ended up liking this one a little bit more because it was a little more flowy like water, where this felt more too earthy and too grounded. But so that might mean that I just have to do it again, but with some sort of earth product. Who knows? This was me playing around with the composition and then the color scheme. This was me coming up with thoughts for, I think it was for Instagram and Discord and YouTube's like little, oh my gosh, icons. I was trying to figure out what I want to do. This is me attempting to draw myself, but doesn't look like me because I think I put too many lines on my face and didn't have my eyes where they needed to be. So in the last sketchbook, I did a lot of notes for one of James Gurney's other books, and then this one is one of his second books. And I took some notes on how to make imaginative art, but with realism, to have like these really cool illustrations that look like they're illustrations from the magical world itself. So I took a bunch of notes on that. Got a commission to make a cute little sticker for one of my friends who worked in this department in a hospital, and she wanted to have a very specific little sticker for it. So I did that for her, made it digitally, obviously, so she could print it as stickers. Who I think they ended up really liking the stickers, the person they were giving them to. Then I thought it'd be kind of fun because I think I was revisiting, or I was watching. I think I started to watch someone play. Oh my gosh. Yep, Dark Souls. Dark Souls for the first time, and they get to a very specific spot where you're supposed to have a mandatory death, essentially. And I just liked the idea of putting mandatory death with this specific character on top of it. And I'm still debating if I ever want to make that as a sticker or not, because I think it's really funny. More notes from the book. Some just fun. I think this is, again, trying to figure out my little avatar icon. I was feeling very not okay, apparently, at the time. I wanted to combine a giraffe and a snake, but with like some folky patterns on it, and then some more figure drawing. And I thought this was kind of fun that I did 3 different colored pencils for the different lengths of the sketches, and it kind of made a really cool page. Didn't know what to draw that day, so I started drawing my little Ash boy and all the little things that we used to call him. I really love the snuggle bug little weird illustration to the point where I'm like really wanting to get this as a tattoo on my body because it's just so funny to me. And then this is animals from my creative writing story, which you've seen. You've got to meet Kit because that's the little character I have on the front cover of Sketchbook 9. And this was named Zuko, and I've now renamed them, which I can tell you all about when I show you what the last page of the Sketchbook 9 looks like. So look forward to that conversation. More notes. Had random colors, just flap, bloop. Try that again. I just really liked this. I think I had this as a wet gouache piece, and I just was like, sure. And I slapped it on there and just kind of did like very loose, obviously very loose portraits drawing or painting, I guess, because I was using gouache and a paintbrush to kind of just throw something on the page and not have the ability to fully try to erase. And I still kept going. Clearly had the colors. This was based off of a very specific type of book I was reading at the time. And a little fox. Blank page, because why not? I wanted to do a retake on the, I wanted to take my own take on the Hades and Persephone story, but kind of like swap it so that Hades was female and Persephone was male. And so we have more of like slightly, that dominative, hard ass kind of girl, meeting a very cute, soft boy. I thought would be kind of cute. And so I kind of played around with that. Just some different practicing of sketches, developing more about who these two characters were going to be. Ending up naming her Nyla, and she's so cute. And then Finnegan, aka Finn, because I thought it'd just be kind of cute. And then like him being, his mom thinks he's a well-behaved, beautiful, sweet boy, but he has tattoos and stuff like that. I thought would be kind of, that like the Hades and Persephone retelling stories, some more just drawings. And I wanted to do I just love the Swan Princess. So I wanted to do a page spread, a page with some screen captures from the very first song you see of them growing up. And I love it. Love it. This is when I first started to get into some IFS, which is internal family structure therapy and counseling. And so I wanted to try to start potentially illustrating some of my people that kind of come up to keep me protected in some of the like inner parts of me. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to kind of draw them. And I ended up going a different route with this. Instead, I start to now paint the images that I kind of feel when I'm working with my protectors. I think at this point I was starting to get into somewhat of a little tiny rut. So I came up with this fun challenge that I wrote down all of the crops and all of the animals that you can get in Stardew, and I wanted to combine them. So I kind of would like shake them up and pick one of the two, and these are some of them that I came up with. I think the ostrich rhubarb is like one of my favorites personally. Then this was a fun little painting idea that I got. I actually have it right here, so I don't have to like do the fade in. This little painting. And then obviously I think I had just started playing Hades because it was one of Zach's favorite games, and I said, all right. And then I ended up loving some of the characters, having to draw them. Same old with me. Oh, there's something really cool in the video game. I'm gonna draw that. More figure drawing practice. This was, I think I just wanted to warm up, and I saw this picture of Cass from Supernatural, and I had to draw that. My Stardew Valley, figuring out more about how I wanted to draw that little lizard dragon character. Another one of my like lovely little, this was obviously it's still the animal Stardew Valley crop combo. This is based off of, I wanted to make a little hedgehog with clouds on his body because I have this little guy on my desk that I painted. Kind of gives Starry Night vibes, and I wanted to see if we could kind of figure out how to do that, but with clouds. I had watched the first 4 episodes of Castlevania on Netflix and obviously fell in love with some of the characters that I had to then draw them. Didn't like how this face turned out, so I redrew it and I said, I actually love it better now. Thank you. And I have not gotten to go back since because this is the time when Netflix said, hey, you're only allowed to really have one household that can stream. Sorry. And so I didn't get to watch anymore. Made me realize I wanted to try to start figuring out how to draw the different shapes of eyes and like what those might look like. I guess that's kind of where that brought me. And then so I tried to draw. Oh my gosh, I don't know the other guy's name, but this guy from Castlevania. Let me know if you know. This was, I think this page I did when I was we had a family trip in Texas, and I brought my SimTap markers to doodle around on if I had time, and this was all the time I had for. Then I came back to just start doing because I had gotten from a place. We went to this place called Hopscotch in Texas, and it was a really cool art gallery experience all about like color, and they had a lot of these really cool things in their little gift shop, and one of them is like this oracle deck of like watercolors and how to just you pick one randomly and you kind of follow the instructions it gives you kind of vibe. And I thought that'd be a really good idea because again I was like kind of not feeling my art at the time, so I thought this would be kind of a place that if I never know what to do or paint, I have this now oracle deck that can kind of guide me a little. Then that's one of them being here. Then there's just more sketches. This was me coming up with some really fun outdoor space vibe because we started to really want to actually utilize our little back deck that we have in our backyard. So we're trying to figure out how we wanted it to look. Some cute girls on Pinterest and a little duck. I made a beanie for my sister that I really, really liked. And a lot of people have always asked her where she's gotten them. So I kind of planned out maybe potentially doing some beanie art to put up on my store. But I have not found a way to do this quite yet because I used the Carhartt beanies for my sister's gift and for my two, my niece and my nephew. So they all had like mommy and me hats. But I don't want to legally get in trouble for reselling hats from another company. You know what I mean? So I haven't found a way to make that doable yet. And then this was me planning stuff for my Ko-fi page, however you want to say it, and how I wanted those all to look. Then this was me announcing that I was about to launch my first little tiny website / Ko-fi page. And then I think this was me trying to decide how I wanted the banner to look. This was thoughts of what I could do for different themes for beanies in the future. If I ever do want to do the embroidery by hand beanie route, this was a thought I could write down. Then I saw this quote, "Candles are how we keep fire as pets," somewhere online. And I said, I have to paint that. Ended up drawing all these really cool things of Wave doing it and this. And I think I ended up painting it. Here, hold on. I also have this painting right next to me. Let's see. I ended up painting it this year. I really like how the painting turned out. But again, came up with this in 2024 and finally painted it in 2025. But I finally came back to it, and I'm really thankful I did. Wanted to revisit my cute little snugglebug paint or little snugglebug drawing. This is so cute. This is also the time I wanted to try to do a cloud a day. And so I sketched it for one day, and I wanted to plan for a needle felting thing that I have somewhere in my house. This was more planned stuff, more stilled and screen capped animations. Gotta do me some Prince of Egypt. Love that movie. So good. And I really liked how they drew the characters in it. So I was practicing that. Some beautiful people on Pinterest. I love this one. I love this drawing so much. It's so cute. Wanted to do some acrylic painting practice because I just felt like I was getting a little out of touch with painting still lives. Never came back to do this one. I think it kind of made me a little nervous because it is like, you know, a ring pop, so the candy is slightly see-through, and that kind of intimidated me a little bit. Some came back to my cute little dragons from that I ended with sketchbook 5 with, because with this game I have little cards of all the illustrations she's made, and so I kind of pulled one and doodled them out. I don't know, I then felt like I needed to fill up the page, so here's that. I guess I filled them up with that, and this was the start of ideas for creating stickers that looked like clouds, but they looked like animals, but they were clouds, because I don't know if y'all have ever done that, where you lay outside and you try to find specific shapes in the clouds. And I thought it'd be kind of cute because I was making a bunch of sort of realistic cloud paintings. That'd be kind of cute to also then make these cute illustration stickers. This was, we went camping with my sister and her family, and this is my nephew's first scribbles with a colored pencil, and he did it in my sketchbook. At least one of the first scribbles he's done with a colored pencil. And so I now have a memory of him and I drawing together for the first time right here. Yeah, then I kind of continued to draw more. I guess I was just in a Pokemon phase and drawing the different Pokemon. And because I clearly kind of skipped some evolutions here, I think that's what this is for. And then I was also redesigning or redecorating a little spot in my house, because we finally decided our kitchen is kind of connected to this space that most would use as a dining room, but Zach and I don't really sit at our dining room table when we eat, and so that space was just kind of being just a place to hold a table. So we ended up getting rid of the table, and I ended up making it this fun little yoga meditative training area for myself, and I put a little illustration that reminds me of this line, that I could write this line out from a quote from the ACOTAR series, because I might not fully agree with everything the book has to say and what some of the characters do, but this meditative idea of adding a meditative practice to my training has been very, very nice. So I did a little shout out to that. Finally planning the cover for the page, and this was Field of Mysteria just came out, and I loved these characters that I wanted to draw them. And then more practice here. These are the cloud stickers that I had come up with. Again, I have those right here. Like, I thought they would just be so cute to have these little clouds, but they're animals as stickers. It's just so cute. So I planned those out, and then my mom commissioned me to draw. This was a character I came up with a while ago that was just like a deer, but also was part of nature. It was, like a spirit animal kind of thing of the woods, and she wanted to see it in like the different seasons. So she wanted to do a fall one, and that's why that's there. This was, again, I think just Pinterest pictures. To then I was doodling, and I came up with these cute little mushroom characters that I clearly ended up then painting them. And then again, more of those little mushroom guys. I then found this online, and I printed it off, so I had like something to choose from. If I didn't know what to draw, I at least had this little challenge to kind of come back to. And I did a few of them, I think. Like this I ended up making into a painting. Wanted to practice drawing hair. I really liked this one. This was the Ghost and Hair one. I loved how this came out. This made, I was trying to do it to make it look like nighttime, but I think I just also didn't want to do too dark of colors. So it ends up looking like it's underwater. Oh well. Some pretty people from Pinterest. Miss Princess Buttercup. Then more snake. And then I ended up trying to paint. I actually ended up trying to paint this and I did not like it. But I was playing around with it. Clearly. I mean, that's what a sketchbook's for. Then my brother had this kind of challenge for me that he's like, what would it look like if there was a giant rift in the sky? That, like, it's based off of something he's working on creatively. So I was trying to figure out what that might kind of look like, and I had a lot of fun. To me, it was like the tearing of a cloth. For me, I thought would look very interesting to look at. Then I was still going with the challenge a little bit. Made this guy into a little illustration. I don't know if it was just close to Halloween time or I just was feeling over the garden wall art again. I don't know which, but I filled it up there. So more from that little challenge that I had on my paper. Some different poses, practicing poses and making them look more like characters. This was definitely starting to get into the mindset of my main character from my creative writing stories. Very heavily inspired this drawing. Then I was aching to get some more tattoos to match my current back tattoo. And I got these on my shoulders. So I wanted to kind of sketch them out and send them to my artist. And she did a beautiful job. I then was watching, I must have just watched The Littlest Vampire. And I just wanted to draw vampire cows, but like chibi. And so I did. And then I ended up making like little tiny marker illustrations out of my sketchbook and have those hanging around my house. They're so cute. And I think I actually would love to make these little, oops. I would love to make these cows into like little stickers at some point. Then I thought it'd be fun because this is around the time that Magic had just come out with their little woodland magic creature set. And my friends were like, you should totally try to make tokens for them. And so I thought I might do that. And so I was kind of playing around with it. And maybe I will in the future. I don't know. I was really liking the idea. But then I think I've been struggling with how I want to do stuff digitally that I don't know. I just kind of stepped away from it for a hot second. Did some more. I think that page is a cow. Wanted to make Tarkin from my last sketchbook, one of my OC characters, as cute. And this was one of the, oh my gosh, challenges. And then I decided I wanted to make a clay specific project. So I sketched that out. Random miscellaneous sketches. Again, random. I think this was based off of scrolling through what I already had on my Pinterest to see kind of what could come up. And this was like a challenge that I have saved on Pinterest, and one of them was making retro and apple picking together. So I did this. And then I started to come up with this idea of making cute little bottles, like little potion bottles, but they be inspired by the different farming sims. And I think here, I'll actually skip ahead because it kind of, maybe not that one either. Here, I thought it'd be really funny to make like a sticker sheet that instead of just calling it Farmer Sims, it was called Farmer Stims. And it'd be all these different like tonics and apothecary potions that were all based off of different farming games that I have played, love to play, or have watched. So that was a thought I had. These are two other, I made a list of all the stickers that I would love to have as somebody who likes to stick things to have stickers to stick stickers to. Wait, was that the sentence I wanted to say? Anyways, I thought it'd be really funny. This one's my grandmother's tarot has no bad cards. I just thought it was really funny because it's a Yu-Gi-Oh shout out, but also the thought of like there is no bad tarot cards in a tarot deck. I don't know. Thought it was really funny. And I think this will need to be done at some point as well. Pink Pony Club had just come out and would not stop getting out of my head. So I wanted to draw a cute little pink My Little Pony with the little disco as their little sticker thing. I don't know. I was just going for it. This was the training that I do has certain boxing drills you want to do throughout the week. So I wanted to make it pretty to put on my wall. More of the Forming Sim stuff. This was what potentially I wanted the sticker sheet, if I were to make a sticker sheet, to look like. Then just more miscellaneous sketches. This was a thought I had. I took this picture of me laying in my bed because I don't know, I just was feeling this specific mood, and I just was like, I want to capture this mood. I took the picture, and then it feels like, oh, this would be perfect for like somebody resting to take their time to like shed their skin to become the newer version of themselves. And that was a painting I did not do until this year as well. But this is where the idea was born. And then it's the end of the book. So like I kind of had the whole thing. This is where I start to have my books have kind of a theme of like the front page and the back page are gonna start to be a little together. And they're sort of, I guess, together with this, but it's in the future that I change things. So we'll see that in the next one. Beep. Yeah, that was Sketchbook 7. Yay! And that was Sketchbook 7. I don't know why their long pause was there, but yeah, that was Sketchbook 7. Let me know what was your favorite sketch, page spread, piece of little mini art in here, whatever it may be. Let me know. And yeah, I hope you have a day and that you stay enchanted.